Pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I appreciate your time. And speaking of getting back, I just got back from a trip to Rome, Italy, where I decided to eat a copious amount of pizza. And if you know me, then you know that I love pizza. And what we will be trying to figure out today is which is better, Neapolitan style or Roman style pizza. I actually ate so much pizza over there that I was starting to look a little bit like Russell Crowe. And today I will be making a trophy inspired by Mario Kart, because my daughter likes to kick my ass at that game. Who'd have thought? But first, we'll go over some differences in both the Roman and the Neapolitan pizza. So both pizzas differ primarily in their dough and crust characteristics. Neapolitan pizza has a fluffier, airy crust with a thicker border or the outside rim, and it's usually made with a simple dough that has flour, water, yeast, and salt. While Roman pizza is known for its thin, crispier crust made by using a dough that incorporates olive oil and a lower water content. So Neapolitan pizza is going to have the thicker edge, while the Roman pizza is just going to be basically like a cracker crust. Every pizza shop that I walked into in Rome, Italy, basically had multiple varieties of sheet pizzas laid out that they would pretty much cut with a pair of scissors, which, was unusual, but I mean, hey, if it works, it works. So from what I understand, I believe the most popular pizza is the margherita, which was named after Queen Margherita of Savoy, who was the wife of King Umberto I of Italy. The story goes that Neapolitan pizzaiolo named Raffaele Esposito created the pizza in 1889, honoring her visit to Naples with the pizza's ingredients representing the colors of the Italian flag: red for tomatoes, white mozzarella, and green basil. And then when she asked him, "What do you call this?" he, thinking quick on his feet, basically just named it after her. He's like, "Oh, we call it the margarita." So I have to mention our last dinner in Italy because I found something generally amusing. Unfortunately, no, we didn't have any pasta or more pizza. But my daughter is a McMonster for McDonald's, so that's where we ended up going. Had to do it. I got to get her way every now and then. So when we were ordering her Happy Meal on the kiosk, I noticed that one of the dessert item options was a brick of Parmesan cheese. I mean, we were in Italy, so I guess it makes sense, but just imagine yourself somewhere like Olive Garden, and for dessert, the waiter just like starts grating a brick of Parmesan cheese onto your plate and is all like, "Hey, enjoy that." And here's another one of my rake tools with a fancy handle. This was made by a friend of mine named Pedro. It's essentially just some brass tubing with some guitar string that he was able to shape and then braided some 550 cord around the handle. Unfortunately, I had to put a little of epoxy on the tips there because I was getting a little rough with it, and I ended up breaking the guitar string. So the epoxy kind of keeps it in place and it made it a little bit more rigid, and well, it's still usable. I just gotta learn not to be so crazy with it. So here's a couple of the tools that Pedro made for me. Don't pay attention to the one in the middle. I made that and it's not that great. But the one on the right is actually a bass guitar string that he was able to actually crimp or flatten, and it actually gives it a little bit more of a scraping, raking ability. And I love these tools. I'll never get rid of them. So if you're looking for someone making some tools, I can probably give you his contact info if he's okay with that.
Yum.
All right, and here we are, out of the oven. All baked, cured, ready to go. So now we're on to making the stand for the pizza slice. So find yourself a piece of circle wood, it's everywhere, and then get yourself a strong steel rod, it's unbreakable. And then we're gonna need this. Getting this threaded rod into this base was actually pretty difficult. But hey, I made it, and I even bent it a little bit because I'm super strong. But yeah, that's where the piece of pizza is going to be sitting. Just going to have to drill a hole in there, and there you go. Okay, so now you just gotta bulk out that rod with a bunch of tinfoil, cover it in your liquid Sculpey, and then start applying all of your clay. You're probably going to want to bulk it out so you can start taking away and shaping it and doing whatever it is to, I guess, make it look like cheese is what I was trying to do. And, just keep working it around. So I'm basically putting the clay and shaping it up into that point of the slice of pizza because I can't bake these two things together because it's actually too tall for my tiny German oven. So what we're going to do to fill in the crevice up there is fill it with some epoxy sculpt and let that sit for about 24 hours to fully cure. And yeah, we should be good to go with that once it's all done. Now it's epoxy sculpt time. So just take parts A and B, mix them together. Come on, you can do it. And there you go. Mix that stuff together, make sure that the black and the white mix thoroughly to be gray, and magic hands. Look at that, it's that simple. And now we're just going to stuff it into the cracks and crevices to pretty much bond the pizza slice to the cheese stand, I guess. Yeah. Pretty much it's going to be pretty sticky, so you can use some water to help smooth it out, which is what I will do eventually. But yeah, it's pretty awesome stuff. Once it hardens, it's pretty solid. I have yet to break a solid piece of epoxy sculpt once it's cured. So yeah, I would pick some up. I think it's about 15 bucks on Amazon. Oh, and just in case you were wondering, just a little tidbit of info here. The public transportation in Rome is actually pretty awesome, and I would even say it's better than here in Germany. However, the metro or subway, well, it can get a little scary at times. And here we are 24 hours later, and the epoxy sculpt has cured, and it's rock solid, good to go. Ooh, look at that liquid gold. And there you go, all painted up, and yeah, we can call the paint job done. And upon further inspection, I have discovered a bunch of fingerprints. Of course I have, because I've been doing this for almost 10 years and you'd think that I would know better, but apparently not. Give me a second, I gotta go do a Nick Cage. Whew, okay, I'm back. So, for the final stage, we are going to apply some gold leaf. If you've never used gold leaf, it is a huge pain in the ass. So first, you need to apply the glue for the gold leaf and let that sit for a recommended, I believe it's like 30 minutes. And then you apply the gold leaf foil to the areas that you put the glue on. It can be a huge pain because the gold leaf is so thin, it's like tissue paper. So it tends to just kind of do its own thing. So you have to be really careful with it. And when you just use like maybe your fingers to pick it up, it will break and not really, it doesn't like to work with you, is kind of what I'm saying. So I don't know. I don't really have a knack for it, but yeah. All right. Well, I'd say this project is done, and now it's time for its close-up. Okay, so now here comes the moment everyone's been waiting for, maybe. But who won the pizza contest, Neapolitan or Roman style? It's Neapolitan, all the way. I'll die on this hill, fight me, I don't care. I love Neapolitan pizza over Roman. Hey, so I just wanted to say thanks again for stopping by and checking out the channel. I appreciate it. And remember, just keep winging it.